Ah.
Ah!
Yep.
How are you this evening?
Nah. I'm okay. Yourself?
It has been a hell of a day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I am here. I am lending you an ear. Oh.
Yeah, I've been hiding the fact that I've been sick all week. And the symptoms finally caught up with me today, and I had to get them cleared. And yeah, now I'm just tired and sore all over the place.
You had to get them cleared?
Yes.
I didn't.
I'm trying not to be disgusting.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool. Body stuff. Not any fun.
Yeah.
As a reminder, that Cat has submitted their first chapter of God's Bane to Manga Plus. So, folks, don't forget to go there. Before that clears from my system up there, I wanted to make sure I posted that.
So what are you working on this evening?
I don't know. I think I'm cleaning my office. That's what I think I might do. Which may be a multiple day project. I'm not 100% sure. But A, I can't find my watercolors to save my life. And B, a buddy of mine wants to come over and pay me to teach him how to work on Premiere on Friday. Then I'm like, that's money. And he's going to be sitting right here if he can find his way through this entire disaster. And I'm like, maybe I should clean up. All these half projects that are not done.
It looks like we need to sit down and have you finish projects.
Mm-hmm. What? How bad is it?
I know, right? I mean, everything I know, everything I am, I get from Guy and his project management skills. They are top notch. the highest of high quality. Everything. Yeah, you might have heard of it, Cat. It's just a little, a little small comic, God's Bane. We love you, Cat. And we have no problem putting your comic up and seeing if we can get more people to view it. I could see that. Rest is a good thing.
Sorry, guys. Somebody we know in Dove is just threw up my camera bag.
It's funny, except it's gross.
Yeah.
Good night.
No, it's very gross.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out how she
by
managed
day.
to aim so that it hit the side of my camera bag to ooze down it.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
I'm like, and on all of the webbing. So, it's going to be miserable to clean that. Yeah, that was Dove. Dove is old. And she's just old.
And that happens to old cats, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, I can't really get mad at her because she's just old, Poor thing. She's had an off and on ear infection for like the last 3 months. Nobody will believe me when I say she has an ear infection, so they keep giving her like different things to try to make her take pills to feel less pain and things like that, which is great. But she has an ear infection, and I can tell because she shakes her head all the time, and when she does, she just wobbles and then falls over to one side, which means that her ear is infected. And it's a frustrating thing. We keep paying money for them to go, yeah, we don't know what it is. We'll give her a pain pill. And I'm like, I know what it is. It's a freaking inner ear.
You don't have a degree, so
right?
You don't actually know what it is.
There's no way I could possibly know what it is. I don't have any degree. How could I know these things? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already been down to the clicky thingy and clicky thingied your comic. Just saying. Right? It's a technical term.
So we both might be calling it an early night tonight. And Kat won't be joining us. Her hand has been hurting, so she is going to give it the night off.
That sounds great. And I might decide that sounds like a great plan. And tomorrow, the kiddo has a late start for, random reasons, as they oft do. But yeah, tonight would be a great night to go lie in bed and watch some show or something. And I'm not opposed to this battle plan.
Yeah.
I am going to put windows into the dumb thing. Stupid thing, stupid. So, windows must go in. But after I put windows into the MPV, I'll be like, well, I think we're ready to try the idea and the concept of exporting it.
So the thumbs are down. Guess who here uses the stream to
What?
to pose things?
Stream to what? Oh,
I'm working out a pose.
yeah.
And I just realized I have a camera on me.
Right?
So I can go like this and actually look at the pose.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So we have just suddenly decided we no longer work. That's fine.
I think that fits with both of our days today.
Yeah. It's all good. I'll get this fixed. I had this sudden realization that I'm like, man, there are so many pieces on this. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get this all onto one UV map. And I was like, oh, what am I talking about? I should just do 3 UV maps. One for the upper carriage, one for the lower carriage, and then one for the interior. And then I don't have to worry about it, because then you just don't load those maps whenever you're showing different parts of the ship. We're on the interior of the ship. We don't show those maps. We just don't.
That works.
Yeah, saves us memory, saves us all kinds of stuff. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, except that I'm busy just trying to overcomplicate everything, I expect. Which I can totally hear that Brent going, what? Overcomplicating stuff? Guy never does that.
Uh-oh, Cat and her plum wine are being best friends.
Nothing wrong with that in my book.
Bottle of wine, fruit of the vine.
Plum wine is some good stuff. Every time wine is involved, I always think of Passover. All right. I'm curious, if I were to make you part of this upper door anyway, if I were to put you in object mode, instead of trying to do this the stupid way, or to join it, could I still take the window glass and make that part of the surface of this, or will it not do it right?
So I feel bad for that library in Albany. That sucks.
Right. I agree.
So, for people playing the home game, there was a library in Albany that was going to participate in Free Comic Book Day this weekend. And none of their comics showed up.
Oh.
So they had to cancel the event.
Oh. Yeah. At least some things are consistent today.
Yes.
Sorry. Please continue.
No, you're good. That was George Wash.
Right. That's the important part of the evening, is to have George do George's thing.
But yeah, they were all set, ready to go. They just needed the comics to come in, and for whatever reason, the comics won't be showing up, so they had to cancel the event.
That's so sad.
That's like, so I went to my Twitter, I quote tweeted what was happening to them and went, hey, if anybody's in the Albany area and can help this library out, can you guys do that? Because Mom and I really view comics as being the gateway drug to books.
Mm-hmm. Not just that. I mean, I'm of the opinion that it's, this is a wonderful, even by itself, it's not, it's just a great art form.
Yeah, it's a great art form. It gets kids to read in a much more accessible way, and they should be doing Free Comic Book Day. It brings more people into the library who wouldn't necessarily go into there. And hey, while they're picking up their free books, they could go, hey, while I'm here, why don't I check out what they have in the graphic novel section or in the fiction section? And, if I was out there, I would personally go to this library and deliver a bunch of books I have to give away for free.
Right.
And I already kind of put the call out among my guys, but I know if they were here, we'd be having internal discussions with Red Team Go about trying to help them out.
Right.
Quack all of them and just saying, what can we do to help this place out so that they could have Free Comic Book Day? Okay, this is hilarious. I have screwed up and drew on the wrong layer, but I didn't put my frames in on the right layer, so the layer below it is still free, so I can put all of my frames on that layer and be fine.
That is weird.
Woo. Excuse me while I fail forward.
I feel like maybe what I need to do is do this in a different way. I think what I need to do is, first of all, check your normals. I need to figure out how to get Blender to tell me what my how to flip the normals to the outside. Yes, I need the furry mode. How do I turn on the furry mode? Overlay. Gizmos overlays. Ah, excellent. Normals. Please show me all the furry normals. That's what I thought. I had a feeling somebody wasn't doing something right. That's even worse. There we go. Now we're furry.
Now you're thinking with portals.
So the little blue lines that we're seeing here show me which side is inside and which side is outside. 3D models have a thing where you one side's considered inside and one side's considered outside. And when you don't do this right, then when you bring it into Daz Studio, it flips the map inside the model. So they're effectively painting only inside the model and then leaving the outside of the model to be just black. And you're like, really? So it's important to check your normals for Dad's Studio. And since this guy lives in Dad's Studio for the comic side, we got to make sure that the normals are right. We're going to add a plane in here. And this plane is going to be the window. It is also one of those rando things that you're like, well, guess we got to do that now, sort of thing. Which perpetually has to happen. No. It also adds a little bit of complexity to what we're doing. Yeah, and putting in windows is a pain. The answer is I should feel bad, but I don't. I really don't. You'd think that I didn't, after all this time I wouldn't do windows, but here I am. Put it in my contract and everything.
There you
go. Yes. Matt supports Windows.
And that's where I heard screaming from Brent.
All right. I put in Windows, damn it. at least for this door. And that's probably the way I should do it. And I'm grumpy, that's what I'm into doing, but there you go.
I am happy to see you working on the models for your comic.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, they make me grumpy sometimes, but I am happy and comfortable when I'm here. This is a comfortable space. Grumpy, but comfortable. I appreciate it. I swear to Pittsburgh, you guys cannot get lined up if you try.
So, did you see the whole spat with Elon Musk and NPR?
Oh no. Oh my god. Tell me about it.
Through emails, Elon Musk threatened NPR that if they do not return to his platform, he is going to turn over their Twitter handle to another company. NPR and a couple of news outlets reported on this.
Right?
And the blowback has been so hard that at 3 a.m, the person who wrote the original article got an email from Elon Musk with the subject line, "You suck," and that's it. There was nothing in the
I mean, what did Elon Musk think was going to happen? These are the things that make me go, really? What did you think was going to happen, folks? I'm going to force a news outlet to do a thing, Okay.
Well, you're disparaging them.
Yeah, well, I'm going to force them to do what I want them to do, and I'm not going to behave nicely. And then when confronted, I'm going to throw a tantrum? I mean, like, what did we expect was going to happen?
I don't know.
I was noticing an interesting thing, which is talking to a buddy of mine about there's like a misunderstanding behind proper etiquette going on. And I'm not sure where it comes from or why. But like there's a real misunderstanding about proper etiquette. Like it is okay for me to just tell you suck, like out of the blue. And then they get really confused, like legitimately confused. Why are you mad at me? Isn't this the way we all behave? You know? And I'm like, no, we really don't. We don't behave this way. This is not good etiquette. It's so weird.
Well, and there's, I don't know, I think we've lost respect for each other as a people.
Yeah.
We've lost respect of ourselves, what
Right?
we stand for. And it's strange.
It is very, very strange. It is a very odd, brave new world. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not just that, you know, we've lost respect for Elon Musk.
It's everybody across the board all at once.
Right? It's like, and childish behavior is accepted. Yeah. And I'm like, when did childish behavior become acceptable? It's so weird. It really is so strange.
And yet we demand respect from other people, and yet we're not willing to give
that respect.
That respect back to other people. It's one way.
Hello, Alfie. School just
ended. Hey, Alfie.
We'll see you when you get here. It's okay, my friend. We will still be here. It is just really strange. We're hitting into a culture which is just, I don't know. It's...
Well, and I heard an interesting thing that there's almost a cultural Cold War happening.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that.
That we're in the middle of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true too. Ooh, I can put this thing in edit mode and see if I'm right about the fur inside here. Did it get confused? No, everything looks furry. Just was not being particularly happy, I guess. Okay. Well, you know. It's just, yeah, but it's just so strange. I don't even know. Like, none of it makes sense.
Yeah. And yet, I really think that we need to start building longer tables, not higher walls.
Yes. That's a given. It's really easy to be afraid. It's really
Yeah.
hard to not be.
It's like before the show started, you know, so at 9 o'clock I always catch the 9 o'clock news with Mom just to watch, the weather for tomorrow.
Right.
And tonight the main news section was death, destruction, shooting, death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I hop on Twitter and I read about a shootout that took place between two Tesla drivers in Edgewood or Edgewater today. It's like, what?
There's a problem with the problem we've got is media is what it is. Media is designed for if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Humans have a negativity bias. By default, we have a problem understanding certain things. If I say you have a 1% chance of dying from COVID, people don't understand what that means. Either you have a 100% chance of dying from COVID or you have a 0% chance. And there is no in between. And if you say 1%, people don't understand that that's pretty close to what polio was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, as in, that's super dramatic, but people can't grasp that. It's too complicated. It's too difficult. And so people don't. And it's the same thing. You assume then that everything is dangerous. We have this negativity bias where if I tell you something, you assume the worst. I mean, I mean, we do it in everyday life. And I'm not calling you out on this one, but I noticed that happened, the other day. It was like a simple communication problem, but you were like, "Are you okay with me?" I'm like, "I don't have any problem," But it's because that's normal. Normal is to assume that things are not going right.
And sometimes people don't say anything.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather reach out and make sure, hey, everything's on the level.
Sure. Like I said, I'm not trying to call you out.
No, and I wasn't taking it that way. But know that when I do it, I also am trying to make sure, hey, I say that, because sometimes I don't have filters, and I might have said something.
Yeah, who knows? But that's not. I wasn't trying. Like I said, it was just the first thing I could think of. But I mean, it's the same thing. I'll post something on Twitter, and you can read this one of two ways. The post that I read could mean, I like sunshine and kittens, or I like sunshine and kittens. You know what I mean? Like, that's a great example. If I say I like kids and I like kids, it's two totally different meanings. You can't read that. So people will go to the negative. They will assume it's a pedophilia thing, right? And it isn't. I'm just saying I like kids because I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I mean, like, I teach kids and I work with them well. But without that context, you don't know why a 50-year-old man would say he likes kids, right? So we would naturally go to the negative. We naturally assume the worst. Then news agencies, that's juicy, 50-year-old man likes kids, and now you're in this trouble. You're like, whoa, how did I get here? And
Yeah.
it's called the negativity bias. But more importantly, we also have what's called an availability bias, and that says if you see something, it is prevalent. I call this my red light bias. And the story goes that I was driving along and there was this red light at the apartment complex I lived in. And the red light...
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah.
The red light always caught me. It was always red. And there was no other traffic in the area, so it was very annoying, right? And so I was like, what is this light's problem? No matter which way I came to this light, it always was red. It was getting to the point where I actually was starting to believe that it sensed me coming, right? And then one day, I just put a notepad on my dashboard, drew a line through the middle, and put R and G. And would you believe that whenever I was doing an actual, every time you come to this light, market, whether it's red or green, it was 50-50. And that's called an availability bias. The things that traumatize you, you remember, and therefore think they happen all the time. And so part of the problem is we have that availability bias. We see it, it must happen all the time naturally. And it isn't. It's not happening all the time at all. And that's part of the problem. If you think about shootings, even shootings in America, which is appalling, you're still far more likely to get eaten by a shark than shot. You know what I mean? Like, the odds are still better. But people don't see it that way.
Yeah, well, and also, too, it doesn't help that it's not reported that way either.
Right. But the odds of you actually getting into a gunfight are really, really slim. But that's not the way it looks in the news. It's not the way it looks anywhere. So that's the availability bias. And we suffer from both of them a lot. And it's really sad because it affects the way people handle the world. It's one of the reasons why there's a problem with police officers right now is because, and I'm not knocking cops, but they have an availability bias. And then the culture that they're interfacing with has an availability bias. And so they both believe that the other culture is constantly attacking them and that they are constantly in trouble. And therefore they respond accordingly. And that gives you the situation that you've got with them.
Yeah, and it's
right. It's a negative feedback loop. And things get worse and worse and worse as time goes on because of that feedback loop. All right, you almost got this in here. The hard part's trying to get just stable enough to realize, okay, COVID's bad, but what does COVID being bad mean? What does that mean? And can I trust that, a 1% chance is bad or not? What does 1% mean? Well, 1% is still 30 million people.
Well, and even if, you have a 1% chance of dying to COVID, then you have all the other crap with COVID.
Right.
And that's the other thing, is that people talk about COVID like it's just the flu. Oh, you have the sniffles. Well, not really. I mean...
So, the flu has a 1 in 5 million chance of killing you off if you're properly cared for. That's a lot different than 1 in 100. And so that's why...
But it's also a lot different when you actually look at the symptoms. Look at what I went through.
Right? You survived.
That was not not a cold.
You didn't die. That's the other thing is... But I mean, that's... Again, I'm not trying to get into specifics here. Because the real problem, and I've finally kind of started seeing it in that book that I've been reading. Part of the problem is that we have these biases that screw with the way we perceive the world. And that's part of the issue. There we go. Windows, people. Windows. Fuzzy windows. No, fuzzy windows. As my grandmother would say, I got winders. Would you close the winders?
But, I was going through in my head with COVID because there's a new strain coming, Arctis.
Mm-hmm.
And Arctis, one of the big things with that is what they're seeing is what they're calling sticky eyes. It gives you a pink eye-like problem in your eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's somewhat horrifying.
And I'm sitting here going, we're treating this as if it's the common cold, but there's nothing common about what this thing does.
No.
Tell me, when was the last time you had the common cold
Give you pink eye.
not only give you pink eye, but also give you scarring to your lungs, cause disruptions to your intestines, your muscular system, everything.
Right.
And make your hair fall out.
That's the one that's really weird.
And destroys your ability to think. Like, this is not the common cold.
Right. And again, it's you're preaching to the choir here, on my side, because obviously
Yeah. But this was what I was going through in my head as I'm reading about what the new strain does.
Yeah.
And we're still treating it like, once you're over the sniffles, you'll be fine.
Right. Don't worry about them sniffles. You'll be good. Just give it an hour or so.
I don't know what they did to change up the music, but I like this music.
Yeah, it's a little bit better this time, isn't it? Yep. So yeah, I think that my biggest problem is that we've got to stop. Somehow we've got to stop having our news fed to us in bleed that leads. But this is
sound bites.
Yep, sound bites. I mean, you can only get a small piece of the news, and the piece that you get is always the worst possible function. But what's happening, what I'm seeing is a reaction. To get back to what we were talking about, Musk et al. Is now doing culture says that I'm supposed to be a jerk. And that's what's happening. We're starting this whole belief that we've got to be, mean and rough and tumble because everybody out there is for themselves now and nobody's on your side, and it's a dog eat dog world and yada yada yada. And in reality, humans just aren't like that. We really aren't. By nature, we're not like that. And so that's a misread, And all it does is cause stress.
Yeah.
Because when we're left on our own devices, we're good people to each other. We're good to each other. We're nice. The majority of us do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like the error rate for people who are like,
Hi, Alfie.
hey, Alfie, welcome back. They're really bad to one another. The error rate's really small.
Yeah.
Less than a fraction of 1% of us are actually like capable of hurting each other. It's a very tiny. Most people, when put in a position like that, can't even hurt each other. We can't. We're not capable of it. Put this window in whether we like it or not. There we go. You go there. You go in right. I don't know where the heck you're supposed to go in. Probably right there. But that's one of the things, I think if anything that I have learned from the internet is that we are all just people. We're all the same. Doesn't matter what nation you're from or what Alfie is from the outback land and we're from the land of whatever we want to call ourselves. Not the land of kangaroos. Kangaroos are so cool. Kind of jealous of Alfie having kangaroos. I feel like Alfie would probably say, if you met a kangaroo, you probably wouldn't be half as geeky about it. I mean, you're probably right, but still. Alfie has to draw trees. It's good for you. I love trees.
Yes.
Right? Pet koala. Drop bears, man. Drop bears. I love drop bears. The whole thing in mythology, it's like the jackalope. I love those things. They crack me up. But yeah, I think the biggest problem is that people just don't realize that every day we're just normal. We're just people. There's nothing really strange about us. We're all the same.
We're just innocent men.
Trying to decide
Or
which
just
it's going.
no. We're just normal men. Oh, please tell me you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
You're going to send me a thing, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Because I'm trying to line something up, so you're gonna have to wait. You gotta line this up. Oh, you got a cat? What's the cat's name? What's the rabbit's name? Birds. You've got a lot of things going over there. I know, right? Saying you got a pet kangaroo and koala bear is cooler. But I feel like that's kind of like me saying I've got a pet alligator. You know, it's like, Smokey. Smokey's cool.
Cats are awesome.
In general, yeah. Even our goofy George. He is who he is. George's birthday is tomorrow. Oh, George's birthday is the same, is now, Alfie's actually in George's birthday right now. By the way, Alfie, may the 4th be with you. Always. Since Alfie is already in the 4th. Yep. Now I have to figure out where the heck I did this thing. Yep, but it's the 4th. It's May 4th there, so it's May the 4th be with you. As needed. Alrighty. There we go. That's in there, I think. Let's see. It is not completely, or is it? What is it doing? What are you doing? Window, what do you think you're doing? Yeah. That's all the windows. Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Merrick, how are you?
Alfie's here.
Merrick's here. It's a good day.
We got Kat here too. We got a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good folks. We got good folks here. All right, let's put all the things back on. Yeah. I hope I'm doing the right thing. That's all I gotta say.
Nice. Is that the second? Is that the sequel to Zone of Enders? I'm guessing.
And see, this was not what I wanted you to do. You turned everything that color, and that's not what I was after. Is that because there was no other color assigned? What's the story here? Oh, that's fun. It's very reflective. Oh, and you can see I can see my trees from here. Okay, that's cool, but let's do this. That's what we're looking for. That even looks like glass. It's kind of cool.
Has a flat head? Huh.
Oh no. I hope that's okay. All right. Oh. Some guys just have that. That's just a thing. Let's see, he did it again. That one did right. No, it didn't. Why are we having such problems with this?
So I don't know if you noticed last night during the comic challenge when I was doing that, but I actually was having a lot of difficulty towards the end with just basic drawing because it was taking up so much resources to draw.
Right. You're past. You're gonna do this. Do it this way. George demands scritches. This is George. George is a member of this show. George does things like he likes to knock cups over a lot. He's very into water. That's his thing. He's really into water. He's a weird cat. He also likes to be right here so that I can't get work done. Just as you. This is what you do. Another way. I need to assign the windows. What's going on here? Georgia is pretty cool. Except, when he knocks stuff over. But other than that, he's pretty cool. Look over there. This way. Hi, I'm George. I'm a big cat. Don't think I'm not. I'm a big cat. Big cat. Part of me will be played by George.
But we don't know what part yet.
Jan, you need to draw better. You need to do a lot more drawing. He's purring. He's like, this is fun. This shouldn't be fun. Cat. You're such a weirdo. Oh boy. Okay. Once more with feeling. We got one. Go see Alfie's cat. Sounds like a great plan. That's not good. Windows working everywhere but in this one spot on this door. Can't get it to work on this one spot. Yeah, I have that problem too. I follow that one. Okay, so how do I see like everything that's in here? We need to figure this out, guys.
Yeah, the other thing is, unfortunately, we also need to work on, like we already know, hey, this is bad, let's not do this. But we also need to work on, hey, we don't agree with this now, but there was a time in which this was considered acceptable, and it isn't. It never should have been. But we shouldn't ban art because we disagree with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the outdated cultural depictions of like the 50s and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, because I think the moment that we start banning, hey, we don't want to show this in school, we also lose that opportunity to discuss why it is bad.
Yeah, what this was and why. Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you about the German student in my social studies classroom when I was in high school?
No.
So, obviously, we had a German exchange student in our classroom when we hit World War II.
Right.
And we were discussing Hitler. And a lot of his speeches and a lot of his old video stuff in Germany is banned.
Yeah.
And they don't discuss it. So the first time he was ever touched with it was in an American social studies class, and he's listening to it in German. He can understand what is being said, and he was absolutely terrified by what he was hearing and horrified.
It does not surprise me either.
But it's that thing of, we can't allow ourselves to not discuss it because we are uncomfortable by it.
Yeah. And that is definitely true. Like I said, I like to listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, where he talks about the what went down on that, what went down from that point of view, what was happening. And he goes into extreme detail. The attack, like the attack on Saipan or things like that. It's a very different thing than what we hear when we, learn about all of those things in World War II. It's very different. It's not the same thing. We don't hear about that because a lot of it's that they've sanitized it because, really, you only have so much time. There's only so much we can do.
Yeah, it's been unintentionally sanitized.
Right. It's not they didn't mean to do it that way. It just came out that way. And it's the same kind of thing. You've got to kind of parse what's happening here. But there's only so much we can do. Part of it is also there's only so much we can do. You can't teach every aspect of every part of history. There is just so much history out there.
No, but I think there's things happening now that we need to go, no, banning books is not cool.
Yeah. Banning books is a bad idea no matter which way you look at it. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah. I'm sorry you disagree with the content, but maybe that's why you should read a book before you say, "Oh, we need to ban this," because I disagree with it.
Yep. Alfie, I agree with you. History is fun to learn.
Yeah.
But as a teacher, that's sort of a thing that I also think. I mean, I'm always going to think history is fun to learn because I'm a teacher and that's what we do. We're weird. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of things. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of different tracks. It's like, Dave Sim. Dave Sim is a very controversial figure, but we need to discuss him too because he is important for comics.
Sorry.
You don't like him.
Oh, no. I just realized that now I know why this doesn't look right. One of the vertices is way out.
So Dave Sim was I shouldn't say was. He is a big promoter of what is it? Creative Commons, and having things drop out of copyright into Creative Commons so that other people can use it.
Yep.
In fact, Cerebus the aardvark, when he dies, he wants it to go into public domain so people can use it. But
True.
He's also a raging not like he's misogynistic.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of skeletons in his closet. He's very controlling. He is very a nasty individual, but he's also important. And what he did with Cerebus is sort of the coattails that modern webcomics sit on.
It is true.
But he's also a nasty individual who, like his main character, is probably going to die alone and unloved.
Yeah, odds are good. He's not a nice person. He's a bad person, and not a bad person per se. I mean, bad is such a relative statement, but
he made a lot of his own bed, and he doesn't realize how much he lies in it.
Yep. That's probably the most judicious thing you can say.
Yeah.
I can't seem to unbend this wall. I'm trying to unbend this wall. It does not wish to unbend. So well, and I to some degree have had sort of that discussion many times about Tamerlane. When I was doing Tamerlane, there were people doing sort of their own fan comics inside the Tamerlane universe. And they would ask me, is it okay for me to write a story with your characters in it? Which I thought was very sweet of them. But since CBS owned Star Trek, I didn't feel like I owned Tamriel. So, though I was more than...
See ya, Alfie.
Bye-bye, Alfie. Have a good evening. We'll see you later, my friend. Do your homework. But yeah, I mean, because CBS owned Tamerlane, I didn't really, okay, yeah, sure, make comics, whatever. If I like them, I will say that they are actually part of the story of Tamerlane. Yes, it was like the best I could come up with. We're talking about, you're talking about Creative Commons stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
in a way, Tamerlane was Creative Commons, and it had to be by nature.
Yeah. I think no matter how this century finally plays out, I think the history books are going to be very, very interested in the 2000s. Like, this has not been a boring century.
We definitely live in interesting times.
Yeah, if you could be a little less interesting, that'd be fantastic.
Right. I kind of feel bad for poor Alfie. I don't think he expected to come in the middle of a discussion.
No, but that's one of the things I like. I like the fact that we can discuss
Oh, yeah.
pretty much any topic without needing to go into,
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I feel like, oh no, poor Alfie,
Yeah.
Oops. Not oops, but oops. Okay, how did this get all mangled up here?
I mean, hell, I'm literally drawing a comic that talks about religion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the themes. Yeah.
Right? Like cats on it too.
I mean, it's a safe place to discuss and explore these themes.
Yeah. No, it should be slightly pink. Why is it slightly pink? So that I can see which parts got snagged and which didn't. Why are the windows now? I swear. It is having like
That would have been.
weirdest.
That would have been. Go on.
I was just gonna say I'm having the weirdest time with trying to assign things, assign bits to this, because like now it's turned all the windows into the interior, and I'm like, I didn't select the windows, so why? Yeah. So what you were saying?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it's like, and I can make this all pink. A few minutes later, why is this all pink? What's going on?
Why is everything pink? All but my weird window, which still will not assign properly. I don't know why. That's so strange. And see, it's exactly the same problem. I turned it all white. And yet, it seems like I have tires that are still black, even though in theory it should be painted all hull white at this point. I'm very confused as to what it thinks it's doing. I don't see anything else on here, so I'm trying to get kind of. I mean, this is something that I don't understand about. Um, this is something I'm clearly not getting about Blender. Like, Blender's assigned this stuff something, Rubber 3. I can select by materials.
But you should name that rover Bob Marley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because everything's going to turn out all white.
Everything will be all white.
And it'd always be jamming.
Right.
That could be a joke in there, that it always has the doors freeze up. So one of the crew just calls it Bob Marley, and no one understands why, because they're the only ones that's into 20th century music. No, that'd be the perfect thing for Alex to be in to
Right.
say.
I was going to say, she'd be the only one that would know it all.
But she starts calling it Bob Marley, and no one understands the reference. And so the crew all starts calling it Bob Marley.
For reasons, but we don't know why.
And so finally, like, you could have that to be the running gag. And then towards the end of the comic, you could finally have Chang go, so why do you call this one Bob Marley? And that's when she lets out the joke.
Right. That's even more random, guys. I can paint on it, though.
Hey, Beyond. How are you this evening?
Beyond. Go to the right panel, select Blender File. Put you back in model mode.
You mean you got my entire crew with a dad-level joke? Isn't it great? I hate you so much right now, but I respect you too.
Right.
Hi, helicopter.
Yeah. Guess what? What? Our dear friend here. Okay. See, I don't see any notes. There aren't any notes. I swear. Like, there's nothing here. I'm not making anything. This is so difficult. What's going on? What's in your world, my friend? Speak your mind. No, it's a big deal. Good job.
Nice. Look, never underestimate those kinds of things. Okay? Don't downplay them. Getting a page done is huge. Pat yourself on the back. Be kind to yourself. Don't go saying, oh, I got this page done, but I have all these left to do. Congratulate yourself on getting that done. There you go. 2 more pages. You got this. You are 2 pages further than where you were before. Be kind to yourself.
Oh. Oh, come on. Really? That simple? You're not going away. It's because we've been there, man. We've been there. And trust me, if I can get through this, you can. You got this. You're not wrong. Are they all in the same spot? They're not going anywhere. Hey, Blender, why'd you make this so hard? There.
Okay, that's... I like the way this panel's kind of coming together.
That took way too much effort. Okay, I cleared it. Now, there's nothing here. It is a gray object. Good. All right. Now, select everything, including the other side. Now we assign correct materials. Now everything should be all white.
Mm-hmm.
More right.
Yeah.
This took an inordinate amount of effort. Now we go over to UV. Select the windows.
In the end, it is a race, but you discover it's only with yourself.
Also true. Didn't assign, did it? No, didn't assign. Didn't take that time.
The race is long, and ultimately it's just with yourself.
Unless you do challenges because of Pepper, then, you know, it's just the way it goes.
Or you have deadlines to meet. That's also an acceptable answer. But you should still be kind to yourself.
Let's see, now it's not assigning. Now it's doing the thing again. Man, it just does the thing all the time, doesn't it? I swear I can't get it to not do the thing. Do the thing. Move the thing. No, the other thing. really broken. Oh, yeah. Well, at least we're getting the problem on the same side of this thing.
Remain.
Oh, wow. We're already into 5-minute warning. Oh. It took a lot of forcing to get that to do that. It's very aggravating.
Oof.
Yeah, right? They never do. That took way too much effort just to make that work. But it did work.
I'm actually very For going in and going, I'm probably not going to get much done today. Getting a page done feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm still having a small amount of problem with this, but I don't know. I'm having problems here with this, but we'll figure it out. We're getting there. I just had a sudden realization.
Oh?
Yeah. Mechanically, this is not quite as awesome as I thought it was going to be.
For
just in space mode, the wheels roll under, sort of the same way as the DeLorean did in Back to the Future.
Okay.
And mechanically, that puts these legs through this cross joist, which can happen in a 3D model, cannot happen in a non-3D model. So I'll have to think about that. Not a major problem for my comic book, but it is a big problem if Brent ever wants to print these and make these into real things to sit on the table.
Well, I think that is a future Brent issue and not a.
Yep.
Let's make this.
I'm not going to mess with it right now.
mechanic.
I'm just going to note it in my head.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to do. Because it's totally a future Brent problem, not a present Guy problem. This joint right here is already a mess to try to figure out how to make it work in real life. So this entire crossbeam will probably have to be redesigned anyway, which is fine. Future Brent problem, not a Guy problem. Yeah. All right, guys, we are coming up to the end of our show.
Well, we're already past that.
Yeah.
So I think we are firmly in letting things rest.
Yep. Now we're inside. It's good to have you here, Neon. Congratulations again on your 5 pages. I look forward to seeing them. It's going to be pretty cool. So, but you don't feel obligated to have to show them to us, by the way. I'm just saying. That's not an obligation requirement. There isn't an entrance fee to quack. All of us quackers are just quacked up. That's just the way it is. So, all right, Kat. Neon, it's time for us to hit the hay. I know Alfie was here, but I think Alfie is long gone. I think Alfie had to go do chores and things like that, which is totally cool. I will see you all on the morrow. And I will see you tomorrow too, Ken. And as always,
yep,
keep your eyes on the stars. Good night, folks.
Bye.